blood baptized, mature Christians who know the power of God, who know the faith of God, who know the work of God, and can catch hold to the nation.
Thank you.
Now this is all good shouting news. But it's hard to have a vision in a frustrating season. In this text, in the first chapter of Habakkuk, Habakkuk is talking to God and he's asking God, what is the problem? Why have you not came down and answered based on the issues that are going on with your people? The suggestion takes place to where the issue is not coming from without. It's coming from within. Which helps us to understand we are supposed to be the agents of change, but we have become so inundated and inoculated with society's suggestions and society's thinking until the society is changing us and we ain't changing nobody. The Bible I still read says, be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed. That word in the Greek is metamorpho. It means like the butterfly. Here it is. I understand that you're in a season right now. Here it is to where you're just waiting. You're in that cocoon state. And you're sitting, you're waiting and saying, God when? God where? God how? When you going to do it? How you going to do it? Are you going to do it? You said you were going to do it, but I don't see it. But just touch your neighbor and say, spring is coming. You got to understand when spring comes, cocoons bust open, wings are showing. Here it is. You in this season have to understand that your mind has to hold tight, because what God is getting ready to do, he's going to bring the church into the spring of its existence to where we look beautiful than ever, that we can fly when we had to crawl. We can mount up over things that we had to tunnel through. Touch your neighbor and say, get a vision. Not your own. Not your own. First thing that you have to have, according to the text says, actually Habakkuk goes and he's talking to God, and then finally, watch this, God begins to give the answer. And then it goes into the second chapter to where now Habakkuk is waiting to hear from God. Aren't you glad that you got a pastor who hears from God? Oh, that's a wonderful thing. That he doesn't rely on his own understanding. First thing that you need in this text, you need an anointed and theologically conscious visionary. What does that mean? Number one, he's anointed. He's sanctioned by God. Theologically conscious means he understands how God moves. And see, many times in these churches, these days and times, a lot of these preachers don't understand how God is moving. They think he's moving like he did 15 years ago. But if he was moving like he was moving 15 years ago, the text would have never wrote, behold, I will do a new thing in you. He didn't say he was going to do a new thing in himself, because he can't change. He's God. And the text says, Jesus the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. But you've got to have a theologically conscious visionary that understands that even though the method has to change, the message can't. All right, I'm going. So watch this. Watch this. You have to understand something about your visionary and your pastor. He's in an elevated and a patient place.
Well,
here it is. The first verse. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and I will watch to see. Touch your name and say watch. Two times he said watch. First time, second in the middle, he said he was on the tower. So he's elevated, but he has to be patient because he's a watcher. You have to understand that we